Hello, friends, and welcome to today's episode. Arnold had a hard day at work. When he got home, he found a dog out in the cold. Because his wife had allergies, he couldn't bring the dog inside, so he put a blanket over him. But the next day, he heard loud barking, so he went outside to see what was going on. It was a cold night in Minnesota, and Arnold was going home after a long shift as an Uber driver. He was excited to have a hot chocolate with his 3 kids and snuggle up with his wife in bed. As he pulled into his driveway, the headlights lit it up, but they also showed something strange. He stopped his car and got out to check on a small figure sitting in the grass to the right of the front door. A dog was there. It was a cute little friend that was shaking because it was cold. As Arnold got closer, the dog waggled its tail and moved closer to Arnold, burying itself in his warm body. "What's up, buddy? What are you doing here?" he asked the pet, but he didn't really expect an answer. Until his wife Miriam came out, he petted the dog for a while. "Why are you still outside, honey?" she yelled from the front door. "Dinner's ready," with her arms around "This place has a dog. It's really cold, Miriam. Can I bring it into the house?" Arnold answered, hoping his wife would say yes, but he knew she probably wouldn't. "Oh, no. Isn't he wearing a tag?" Miriam said, but she didn't move. She was very allergic to dogs, so the idea made her shake her head. "He has a collar, but no tag," he said. "That's so careless." Arnold was still very close to the cutie, and he didn't know what to do. "Honey, I can take some medicine for my allergies. I don't have the heart to leave him out here," Miriam said. Arnold knew that bringing the dog inside would make his wife's allergies worse for several days because she had a big heart. "No, ma'am. But we can do something," he reassured her. "Wait right here, little buddy." Arnold was surprised that the dog stayed where he told it to. This made him think that the dog's owner had trained him well enough. Arnold thought it was strange that they didn't give him a tag. Miriam was right behind him as he went into the house. He didn't want to tell his kids about the puppy because they would demand to bring it inside and keep it forever, and his wife would give in. Instead, he ran to get an old box and a blanket. He went back outside, put the box on his front door, and called the dog. "Here, friend. Here, come." Arnold told the dog to get into the box again, and the dog did so right away. Arnold tried his best to cover the dog with the blanket. Miriam brought him a plate of food and a glass of water to put next to his temporary bed. "Thank you, dear," he said. "We'll take him to the vet tomorrow." "That's a good idea," she said. "Come in and eat now. I don't want it to get any colder tonight." "I hope so, too," Arnold said as he looked out into the dark night and hoped the dog on his porch would be okay. "Go to sleep, buddy. Your owner will be found tomorrow." Arnold felt bad about shutting his front door on the puppy, but he knew there was nothing else he could do for now. They didn't have a garage, which would have been a great place to keep the dog, so this would have to do. If the owner didn't show up the next day, he'd come up with a different plan. The next morning, Arnold woke up and went to check on the dog. When he did, he found that both the dog and the blanket were gone. He looked at the footage from his security camera and saw what looked like someone picking up the dog and taking him away. He thought the man was the owner because he saw him kissing the pet. He told Miriam, and she was also happy to hear it. "To be honest, it was hard for me to sleep when I thought about that poor thing being cold outside," she said. "I hate my stupid allergies," and Arnold gave her a kiss to make her feel better, telling her that the dog was fine with his owner now. They ate breakfast and got ready to spend the day at the lake with their kids. Since the family didn't have much money, this was a fun and cheap way to spend the day that worked for everyone. They heard barking coming from their front door all of a sudden. One of his kids asked, "Is that a dog?" with his eyes raised. Arnold frowned and opened the door. The dog from the night before was holding the blanket in his mouth. Arnold was completely surprised when the dog dropped the blanket at his feet, barked again, and wagged his tail. He looked like he was thanking him by sticking out his tongue. Arnold jumped when he saw the man on his security camera. He looked up with wide eyes. He had a gift box in one hand and the dog's leash in the other. He walked up to Arnold with his other hand outstretched and said his name. "Hey dude. Hi, my name is Mark. Last night, my dog got out of our house and I spent hours looking for him. Thank you so much for giving him a blanket to cover himself and food to eat. This morning, he grabbed the blanket and pulled me back here. It's like he wanted to give it back," he said with a laugh. "I'm very surprised because I live 4 blocks away. He's a bit of a rascal, but Rocky is so smart. Please take this gift box. There are some sweets and fruits inside for your kids." Arnold gave a puzzled smile and a nod. He said who he was and talked about what had happened the night before. "I was going to take him to the vet to check his microchip, but I'm glad you found him." "Yes, his tag was in my yard. He must have dropped it when he ran away," Mark said, putting his hair back with one hand. "Anyway, how can I repay you for caring about Rocky?" Arnold put his hands up in the air and shook his head. "Oh, no. I wish we had been able to do more." All of a sudden, Arnold's whole family came out, and he told them about Mark and Rocky, Mark's dog. Mark's eyebrows went up, and he gave the family a smile. He asked, "Are you guys going somewhere?" "We're going to spend the day at the lake," Miriam said with a small smile. "You know what," Mark said, going into his back pocket and pulling out an envelope. "My company always gets tickets to Six Flags. Take them, please." Arnold tried to say, "We couldn't," but his kids cheered. They couldn't buy such tickets right now, so it would be a treat for them. Mark still had the package in his hand, so he finally gave an unsure nod. "Okay. Many thanks," Mark said, "enjoy them." Before he left, he pulled Rocky's leash and gave a wave. Arnold's plans changed for the day. They all went to Six Flags and had the best time ever, which wouldn't have happened if he hadn't helped that poor dog the night before. That's it for today, friends. Please let us know what you think about this story. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon for more amazing stories.